All right, here we go. Thursday, right? Yeah, we're off Monday or Tuesday. We're off Monday. We had E-Day Tuesday, yesterday, Wednesday. All right, so systems of equations by substitution. What does the substitution part of that mean? It means that because we have one solved for y, that means that y is all of this. Now I'm doing this with the paper because I want you to see how to do it on your paper or how to get it done. So the easiest way to do this. So wherever I have a y, I can replace it with that because y is 6 times x minus 3 or 13, and 6 times x minus 13 is y, so I can replace it. So I'm going to rewrite that. 8x minus 6 equals 22. And what I'm going to do is stick all of that 6x minus 13, 6x minus 13 in there. Then we will go ahead and we will distribute. So negative 6 times 6 is negative 36 with an x. Negative 6 times 13, somebody will help me on that one. Let's see, 18, 1, 6, 7, 78. Plus 78, positive 78. 18, carry the 1, 6, 7. Should be 78. Somebody do that in your calculator. And bring everything else down, including that 8x. So that's the part we did with the distribution. And then we're going to combine like terms. So our x's will combine. 8 and 36 should be 28. X plus 78 equals 22. Negative 28, sorry. We have something added or subtracted to the variable. That's the 78, so we'll subtract the 78 from both sides of the equation. Our 78s are gone. 22 minus 78 should be 656, negative 56. And bring down that 28 times x. And I think we did it right because if I divide by negative 28, x equals, should be 2. And yep, that's it. So my math was correct. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to take that one right there. And I'm going to rewrite that. Y equals 6, except I can take out the x. So that's all I did is I took the x out and put it like that. What is x? X is 2. So I replace it and I do 6 times 2, which is 12. And this is basically combining like terms. So we have 12 minus 13, which is y equals negative 1. So our coordinate point is 2, negative 1, and that's correct. So you see how you can organize that on your paper. So I know some people are like, I don't have enough room. If you do all of it down here, and then go over here in the margin and do that. Same thing on the next side. You can do exactly the same thing. You have all of this is y. So what do? 2x plus 2. I separate that, put that x plus 5 in there, equals negative 14. All I did was take what y is, the x plus 5, and put it right here. Now I distribute. 2 times x, or 1x, right? There's a 1 in front of there. 2 times 1 is 2 with an x. 2 times 5 is 10. And I bring everything else down. The 14, that 2x that's there, put a plus between them. And I go on to my next step, which is to combine the like terms. 2x and 2x because they both have an x combined together. There's nothing for the 10 to add to, and on the other side there's only a negative 14. Remember, combined like terms is only on one side each. So 2 and 2 is 4, so that's 4x. Bring down that plus 10, the equals, and that negative 14. There's no extra variable over here, so we're going to get rid of what's added or subtracted to the x. Well, the 4 is attached, so that's multiplication. So it's the plus 10, so we're going to subtract 10 from both sides of the equation. What we do on one side, we must do on the other. We're left with that 4x over here. Because these are opposite operations, they're gone. They're 0. Negative 14 Minus 10 is negative 24. We will then divide by the 4. That's our last step. Our opposite operations are gone, and 4 equals, that's going to be negative 6. Negative 24 divided by 4 is negative 6. What do we do with that? Well, we're going to take that equation that's already solved for y. We could put it in this one, but it's going to take a lot of steps. This is the easier one to do. So y equals x plus 5. We just take that x and put parentheses around it, and we substitute. What is it? It's negative 6. Well, there's nothing to really multiply. There's a 1 here. If you want to put the 1 on the outside and you want it to be negative 6 plus 5, that's good. Negative 6 plus 5 is just negative 1. So our coordinate point is negative 6, negative 1. Easy and simple. And you can see how it's just nice on your paper. Do your front work, do the back work, put your coordinate point. One last example, and then I'm going to set you free because this should be pretty easy. You did the elimination. It's kind of the same, part of the same way. You're still doing your 5 steps, that kind of thing. So this one has it already solved. Your y part is already solved for you. You have your coordinate point for your y. So all you're doing is subbing it in there. So 8x plus 3, put your parenthesis, and the number you're going to put in there is your negative 7. We distribute. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Whoops, I did that backwards. Not 12, 21 equals 19. Bring down that 8x, and there's already a negative there, so you don't need to add anything. Well, there's not going to be any like terms. This one doesn't have a variable. If there was a variable here, you'd note that there would be like terms. So there's no like terms. We can't combine these two. There's no extra variable. So the next thing that we need to do is get rid of what's added or subtracted. So it's the 21. So we're going to add 21 to both sides. Now we did it again. To both sides of the equation. Our opposite operations are gone. We're left with 8x equals, and then 19 plus 21 is 40. And our final and last step, since this is 8 times x, the opposite of times is divide. So we divide by 8. 40 divided by 8 is 5, right? So the 5 goes right there. So there's your answer. This one was easy. It's already solved for y. Boom. There's no x's in here. If there was an x, like number 4, you're going to have an x. You're still going to have to put y equals 3 with parentheses and then substitute your x. Same thing that we did here. We have an x in there, so we did have to solve it. But with this one, you did not have to because it was already gave you the 7, the negative 7. It's the only examples I'm going to do. This is pretty easy stuff. If you have any questions, let me know. Rewatch the video. Make sure you take the notes. You guys at home, if I don't see these notes when you ask me to help you, it means you didn't watch the video. So I want to see your notes. Otherwise, you just didn't watch the video and you want me, it's me teaching. So do it, and then I can help you and figure it out from there. All right, guys, have a good one.